Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracy Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson, and this video is going to be all about intuition, extrasensory perception, and telepathic communication, and how you can actually develop this skill within yourself. So stay tuned. Intuition is defined as the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. We are all very well aware of our 5 physical senses, which help us to feel things, to see things, to hear things, smell things, and taste things. But we all are also equipped with a 6th sense, and that 6th sense is our own intuition and ability to connect with our own psychic abilities. Earlier humans actually relied heavily upon their intuition. This is how they would keep themselves safe out in the wilderness when, they have the possibility of being accosted by other humans or animals. And basically, it was a way for early humans to maintain their own survival. But today we have so much advanced technology that most people don't even understand that they have intuition, or that it's actually a sense that was built within them from the time of their birth, and something that they've simply been ignoring. That's right. Most people out there today ignore their intuition entirely. And even when their intuition is working for them, lots of those people seem to just write off intuitive happenings as simple coincidences. And if you know me at all, then you know that I don't believe in coincidences. Everything is connected, and coincidences are actual synchronicities, or moments where your energy was so in alignment with the universe that it begins showing itself in your outer world. Although your intuition is quite different than your outer senses, the inner sense of intuition is something that you can learn to connect to and that you can learn to trust over time. There are many ways that you can develop your intuition. One of the many ways that I have done it is through concentration exercises, through daily meditation and prayers, and through journaling. Because as you journal about these experiences, you can look back and see how intuitive happenings actually did take place because you have it documented in your own journal. As I have learned to tap into my 6th sense of intuition, then I've also noticed that other psychic abilities became stronger within me. So I've learned through experience that the stronger your intuition is, then the stronger your psychic abilities will be. Extrasensory perception is the faculty of perceiving things by means other than the known senses. So, for example, by telepathy or clairvoyance. I've always been rather interested in extrasensory perception and practicing and developing that skill. And I remember over 10 years ago, I used to practice psychometry, where I would have an object, either inside of a bag or inside of an envelope, and you would just simply hold the bag or envelope and try to perceive what item is inside. Another way that I practiced with psychometry was to hold an object that was very significant to someone. And I don't even have to know the person or care about the object. But what you do to practice would be to hold the object in your hands and simply open yourself up to feel what this object means to the person who owns it. And many times you can pick up on the essence of that object and really what it was given for. Like if it was a gift or if this is something important to them, you may pick up the energy as to why the item is important to that person. So those kind of practices are a way that you can practice and develop the extrasensory perception within yourself. But to develop your extrasensory perception, what you really need is to trust your own intuition, because it all goes back to your sixth sense, your intuition. Another way that I love to practice extrasensory perception is with numbers. So my friend Leslie and I have this thing where randomly one of us will text the other and say, I'm thinking of a number from 1 to 10. What is it? And so the other who receives the message will say whatever they think the number is that you are focusing on. And sometimes we're right and sometimes we're wrong. But it is a fun way to practice, because the more often that you begin to feel what it feels like when you're guessing wrong and when you're guessing right, it helps you to understand what it feels like to feel truth before giving your answer. So the more that you actually practice, even if you're wrong at first, it starts to help you connect on a deeper level with your own intuition. It actually happened this morning because as I was preparing for this video, my husband, who is working from home today, came out of his office at one point, and so I had him guess a number between 1 and 10 that I would be focusing on. He guessed wrong. But then it was my turn, and he, asked me to think of a number between 1 and 10, and then I said 5, and he said that is the correct number that he was focusing on. So, I was able to guess correctly this morning compared to my husband because I am more in tune to my own intuition, whereas he's more in tune to his outer senses. Does that make sense? Flashcards are another great way to kind of develop your extrasensory perception. So you can use colors on each card or shapes. And basically, you try to perceive what color or shape is on each card. So there are many different exercises and things you can do either on your own or with a partner to really connect with your inner senses and, develop that intuition. When it comes to tapping into your extrasensory perception, you will notice that you might be a better sender or a better receiver of messages. And that's okay. So someone who's good at receiving messages might actually have the ability to become a psychic medium. And those who are good at sending the message might actually become a really good spiritual healer. In my case, I can send and receive messages, but I've developed these skills within myself. And so I also work with healing Reiki energy to send energy to other people. And I also work with the mediumistic ability of channeling. So I will channel through tarot readings and things like that, the energy of those who have passed on. Or even just the energy of spirit guides or guardian angels or even someone's higher self. So I have both the sending and the receiving that I've been cultivating over years and years. Telepathy is the supposed communication of thoughts or ideas by means other than the known senses. You guys, telepathic communication happens all the time, whether or not you are aware that it's taking place. Especially if it's someone in your life who you were emotionally tied to in some way. So it could be a past relationship, family members, and friends that will have the most pull on you energetically through telepathic communications. So anytime that you focus your mind and especially your emotions towards a particular person, then you are creating a telepathic cord between you and that person. And so every time you think of them, then they can feel it. And if they're unaware of their own telepathic communication taking place, they might just think that they're thinking of you and they feel it. But really what's happening is your thought with emotion created a telepathic cord between you and that person. So now every single time you think of them, especially in a meaningful way, they feel it and they certainly do respond. So be careful of what you're putting out there, because if something's disturbing you in your thinking and emotions, but you're focusing in on it all the time and it has to do with someone else, just know that you're also disrupting their energy field. Unless, of course, they are aware of what's taking place, because then they can do things to cut the cord and to cleanse their own aura of the attachment with yours. I know that most of us out there have experienced a very simple telepathic communication, such as when you think of someone you haven't talked to in quite a while, and suddenly, shortly after thinking of them, they reach out to you. Whether it's they call you or they send you a letter or a Christmas card or whatever. But it was after thinking of them that you received this communication. Well, that's because they felt that telepathic cord created between the two of you. So either they were already thinking of you and you were picking up on that signal, or you thought of them and they picked up on the signal, and so they responded with action. So it all just depends on the type of person we are, if we're going to respond with action or not. But whether or not you decide to contact someone you've been thinking of, just know that if you've been thinking of them, then it's likely that they have been thinking of you too. So intuition, extrasensory perception, and telepathic communication are all connected. So what these skills that you can develop really are is a deepening understanding of your own intuition, the intuition that you were born with and have been using without understanding since the day you were born. So again, the more that you can strengthen your intuition, that sixth sense, then the stronger your psychic abilities will be. So if you're going to spend your time developing something, you might as well develop your intuition so that then you can have a deep inner knowing and be guided by this inner knowingness to the best possible outcomes in your life. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and share this video with all your friends out there. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I am inviting you now to click subscribe down below. And once you have subscribed, you can turn on the notifications bell so that you can be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.